teach Shakespeare to veterans. There she is. I didn't need to, I just mentioning your name. And I said, sure, well, what is it? She's like, I don't know, figure it out. So last year we got together and we started just deconstructing some Shakespeare monologues. You know, some of the quote-unquote easier ones. And we broke them down as a group. We did some creative writing. And the creative writing things where we all started with the same phrase. It was a dark and stormy night, right? It was the most high-stakes game of musical chairs I've ever played. And then they would finish that story. They all started from the same exact place, but then they would finish the story on their own. And then we read them all aloud. And it just proved to them and to me and to themselves that they're creative. We started with the same 6 words, and we had 14 completely different stories. Some were true, some were made up, some were funny. Lynn's back there, his were always in rhyme, and were the longest ones. How he made, like, his brain is just magic. And then we started breaking down some of the plays, but we still didn't know what it was. Let's make a play. Okay. Well, who's gonna play what? We're not gonna do Hamlet. We're not gonna do Midsummer Night's Dream, right? Because those plays are long. So we created a giant spreadsheet. King, queen, god, goddess, ghosts, servants, soldier, noble person. Pick one. What would you pick? Queen, great. And then across the top was loyal, vengeful, kind, neurotic, funny, whatever. And then you pick one of those. Brilliant. So brilliant queen. And then I would go and find a couple of characters from Shakespeare that would fit what each one of these people chose. Most of them chose to be fools. Who were the only people that the kings and queens listened to. Do you know an example of a brilliant queen from Shakespeare? Margaret? Gertrude? Yeah? I don't know. She has some faults, but yeah, she was a little bit brilliant. Some of her cast is still getting ready. This is what you call vamping in the biz. This is called vamping. Vamping. So that is how we started with all of this. And then once everyone was assigned characters, they got a copy of the full play. And they dove heart first into the works of William Shakespeare and on their own creative writing. And this is the first weekend that they are performing in public. We had 2 performances at the VA campus over the weekend, and this is the first general public performance we've ever had. So we very much thank you for coming here, for your love and your attention. We're going to keep the lights on in the audience because that's how Shakespeare did it. So thank you very much for your kind attention. And please join me in welcoming this cast, and please enjoy Shakespeare Night Live.
It's the dead of night and the museum is silent. The hustle and bustle of crowds is gone, and all that remains are the wax figures of Shakespeare's characters. They stand as ever-ready sentinels to remind and proclaim of the strange goings-on in a faraway age. And now in the quiet, when all things are still, the chance to dream they rest until.
What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty.
In form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god.
The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust?
What the hell is she talking about?
Wait, you are an ass. You are an ass.
Remember,
sir, you should have little reason for that, and yet, to say the truth, reason and love keep little company together nowadays.
Words, words, words.
Suppositions, sir. For the scholars say here, this Shakespeare, they speak of him as though he were flesh. Yet what proof hath time preserved? No journal, no inkhorn draft, no hand that signs, here wrote the man. 12 pages, 12. 'Tis 12 leaves only upon which history lays its claim. The rest, wind and rumors, shadows and echo. Was he truly one? Or many cloaked in one name? A single pin, or a mask for a multitude?
Maybe he was a blessed soldier.
Or a simply wise grave digger. A melancholy fool. A mad king.
A jealous god of the fairies.
An audacious nobleman?
Perhaps a methodical, maneuvering father?
Shakespeare, creator of worlds, inventor of many of the phrases that we still use today. So let's
Break the ice.
On a wild goose chase?
Like fire, off with his head.
and be dead as a doornail.
Too dark? Let's change the tone. A jest, perhaps.
I know, and I'm not.
Who's that?
The bard. Always has been. But where he was,
Or she?
we, his characters, were given breath, not merely to entertain, but to reveal and to reflect, and to hold a mirror up to human nature.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them.
But who is Shakespeare?
We may never know, not that it matters much, for in the end,
This, our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, and books in running brooks. Sermons come from stones, and we all find good in everything.
full many a glorious morning have I seen, flatter the mountain tops with sovereign eye, kissing with golden face the meadows green, gilding pale streams with heavenly alchemy. Anon permit the basest clouds to rise with ugly wrath. On his celestial face, and from the forlorn world his visage hide, stealing unseen to the west. Even so my sun when early morn did shine, with all triumphant splendor on my brow. But out alack, he was but 1 hour mine. The region cloud hath masked him from me now. Yet him for this my love no whit staineth. Sons of the world may stain, like heaven's sun staineth.
All the world is a stage where all the men and all the women hear these players. They have their exits his time, plays many parts. His act being of 7 ages. At first begins mewling and fuming in his nurse's arms. And then the whining schoolboy with satchel and shining face, creepy like snail, unwillingly to school. We'll wait. I see him not. Perhaps he's playing hooky. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow.
Oh, you lost faith. You're truly great. Fighting waspish has been very sting. Well, my remedy is then to pluck it out. Aye, if the fool could find where it lies. Who knows not where a wasp does rest? In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours, if you talk tail. So fair.
What? With my tongue and your tail? That I'll try.
Swear.
So you lose your arms. If you strike me, you are no gentleman, and if no gentleman, arms.
Keep looking at the books.
What is your class, your coxcomb? You call this cock. So get me right there. Throw you like a cradle.
You hate the tongue. You must not so sound.
It is my fashion when I say it.
But he was no crab, and therefore look that sour. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pirate, jealous in honor, and sudden and quick in anger and quarrel. Seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth.
Attend her!
At ease, at ease. If we are marked to die, we are numbered to do our country lost. And if to live, the fewer the men, the greater share of the honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. By Jove, I'm not covetous for gold, nor care I who feed upon my cause. No, faith, my cousins, wish not one man more from England. God's peace, I will not lose such great an honor as one man more, methinks, would share from me the best hope I have. Oh, do not wish one man more. Rather, proclaim it. He that has no stomach for this fight, let him depart. His passport shall be made, and crowns for his convoy put into his purse. We will not die in the company of a man that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of St. Crispin. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand on tiptoe when this day is named and rouse him at the name of Crispin. And he that shall see that day and live old age will yearly, on the vigil, feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is St. Crispin. Then he shall strip his sleeves and show his battle scars. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgotten. But he'll remember with advantages the feats he did on that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth, as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, will be in their flowing cups, freshly remembered. For he today, this story shall a good man teach his son, and Crispin shall never go by from this day until the ending of the world. But we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Be he never so vile, this day shall gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap when anyone speaks that fought with us on St. Crispin's Day.
Hands up. As you were.
And then the justice with their round belly, good hip on line, with eyes severe, beard of formal cut, full of wise flaws in modern instances. All rise for King Lear of Sicilia.
My queen, now in prison, stands accused of adultery. I did send my most loyal servant to kill the cause of this shame, my former friend and ally, King Polixenes of Bohemia, but my servant and the Bohemian king have both plan. This conspiracy against me shall not stand. My baby daughter has been thrown into the wilderness, for I doubt if she is even my own child. My school-age son, his lineage is even in doubt. I've been undone, and I shall have my vengeance.
All the while, who cut my lace with my heart cracking a break too.
Silence, maid!
I say the queen is innocent.
I shall hear no more from a scullery maid.
What study torments tyrant husband? What wheels, racks, fires? What flame, boiling in leads or oils? What old or newer torture must I receive, whose every word deserves the taste of thy most worst? I tyranny together, working with thy jealousies. Fancies too weak for boys, too green and idle for girls of mine. Oh, think what they have done, them are mad. Indeed, stark mad for all my bygone fooleries were but spices of it. That thou betrayest a friend, 'twas nothing. That did but show thee of a fool, inconstant and damnable and grateful. Nor 'twas much. Thou wouldst poison the good man's honor to have him kill a king. Poor trespassers more monstrous standing by, whereof I reckon the casting forth to cross thy baby daughter to be or not a little, though a devil would have set water on a fire and done. Nor is directly laid to thee the death of the young prince, whose honorable thoughts high for one so tender, cleft heart that could conceive a gross and foolish sire of blemished and gracious down. This is not known laid to thy answer, but the last, O Lords, when I have said, cry, woe, the queen, the sweetest, dearest creature's dead, and vengeance for not dropped down yet.
Now the sixth age shifts into the lean and snubbered pantaloon, with spectacled high nose, pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved in a world too wide for his shrunk chin. And in his big manly voice, turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his town.
My liege and madam, to expostulate, what majesty should be, what duty is, like day is day, night is night, and time is time, we're nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit and tediousness its limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad! Mad, I call it. For to define true madness, what is it to be nothing else but mad? But let that go. By heavens, it is as proper to our age to cast beyond oneself in our opinions as it is common for the undersort to lack discretion.
That last scene of all. This ends the strange eventful history in second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth. Sans eyes. Sans taste. Sans everything. me to introduce you to the graveyard. Well, two great thinkers debate whether or not Ophelia killed himself. Spirits. Spirits. Everywhere in the graveyard. That's the spirit. Oh, and here's my favorite, the Holy Spirit. You with the golden egg for a head, my brother. Is she to be carried in a Christian burial? Would she, so willfully sought her own salvation?
I thought that she is. Therefore, make her grave straight. The crowner has sat on it and finds it Crispin buried.
How can that be? Unless she drowned herself in her own defense.
Why this found so?
Ah, it must be say off and Dondo. How can it be else? For here lies the water. Oh, here's the point. If I drown myself willingly, it argues an act. And an act has three branches. It is to act, to do, to perform. Argo. She drowned herself willingly.
Nay, but hear you, good man Delver.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If he goes to the water and drown himself, it is willy-nilly. He goes. Mark you that. But if the water comes to him, if it drowns him, he drowns not himself. Argo. That is not guilty of his own death. Sure is not his own life.
But is this law?
Yeah, 'tis Crowner's quest law.
Will you have the truth on it that this had not been a gentlewoman? She should have been buried out of Christenberg.
Well, there thou sayest. And the more pity that the great bulk of this world who left countenance to drown themselves or hang themselves more than their Christian brethren. Come, my spirit. There is no ancient gentleman, but the gardener, the teacher, and the grave maker. They hold up heaven's possession.
Was he a gentleman?
He was. He was the first that ever wore arms.
Why he had none?
Ah, what art thou, the heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scriptures said that Adam digged. How could he dig with no arms? I'll put another question to thee. If thou answerest me not to the purpose, confess thyself.
Oh, too.
Okay. What is he?
that builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gobs maker. For that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like thy wit well in faith. The gallows does thee well. But how does it well? It does well to those that do ill. Now, thou dost ill to say that gallows is built stronger than the church. Argo, the gallows may do well unto thee. To it again.
Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter?
I tell me that, and unyoke.
Mary, now I can tell.
To it.
Max, I cannot tell.
Cudgel that praise no more about it, for thy dull ass will not mend this pace with another beating. And when you are asked this question again, you say, a praise maker, the house he makes lasts until doomsday. Go in and get me a stupor better. In youth and I did love, we thought it was very sweet to sit for a time with my behold, and I thought there was nothing.
Good day, fair dames and noble gentles. Taste Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus. Madness, vengeance, and fate. Titus, Rome's great warrior, conqueror of Garth and its queen, has slain Tamara's eldest son in cruel vengeance for revenge. Her remaining sons ravage his daughter Lavinia. Blinded by wrath, Tamara disguises herself as revenge. Yet Titus' madness hides a mind still keen, still perilous. Who fools whom? Tamara, thinking she commands revenge, or Titus, hiding darker designs still? Who shall prevail in this blood-stained dance, or is it glory preserved?
No, old man, I am not Tamara. She is thy enemy, and I, thy friend. I am revenge, sent from the infernal kingdom to ease the gnawing vultures of thy mind by working wreakful vengeance on thy foes. Come here, welcome me to this world's light. Confer with me of murder and of death. There's not a hollow cave or lurking place, nor vast obscurity or misty veil, where bloody murderers and detested rapists can couch for fear. I will find them out, and in their ears tell them my dreadful name, Revenge, which makes all foul offenders quake.
He's gone mad again.
Is he still upset about his daughter? Humans trying to measure love.
Blow, winds, and crack your cheeks. Raise, blow. You cataracts and hurricanes, spout. Till you've drenched our steeples, drowned cocks. You surface thought executing fires. Bold courtiers of oak clashing thunderbolts. against my right head. And shaking thunder, strike flat the big continents of the world, crack open nature's molds that make an grateful man. Rumble thy belly full, spit fire, brain spout. No rain, wind, thunder, fire. My daughters, I tax you not, you elements, with unkindness. I never gave you kingdom, called you children. You owe me no supplication. Then let fall your horrible pleasure. Here I am, your slave, a poor, infirm, weak, and despised old man. But yet, I call you several ministers, that will with two pernicious daughters join your high engendered vows against a head so old and white as this. Let the great gods that keep this dreadful putter over our heads find out their enemies now. Tremble, thou wretch! Thou hast been the undivulged crimes unwhipped of justice. I leave thou bloody head, thou perjured, and thou of similar virtue, thou art incestuous. Take him to pieces shake, that under covert and convenient seeming has practiced on man's life. Spent up guilt. Ride your concealing continence and cry. These dreadful summoners graced. I am a man! Both in the gates and sitting.
That's good. Shakespeare could really write. Wow. Food for thought and meat for actors. The best actors in the world. Either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, historical, tragical, comical, historical, pastoral, seen and dividable, the poem unlimited.
These players here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, can force their souls so to their own conceives, that frontal working on his whispered way, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit, and all for nothing. For a fictional scenario. What a piece of work is man. How noble in reason. How infinite in faculties. In form and moving. How express and admirable. In action. How like an angel. In apprehension. How like a god.
Did she just compare men to gods? King Overlord and fairies. I do believe you're the only god here tonight. We have kings, servants, nobles, sprites.
I do believe I am the only god in attendance.
Oh, what utter fools these mortals be! I, merry wonder of the night, just to overall and make him smile when in likeness of a pretty foal, a horse, a bean-faced horse I beguile, or lurk I in a gossip's bowl, or lurk I in a gossip's bowl, and in the very likeness of a roasted crab, but by against her puckered lips when she attempts to drink. Then again, another time, another place, the wisest aunt, if you will, was she's telling the saddest woeful tale. Mistaken me for a 3-footed stool. Slip I then from off her bum, and backwards tumbles she. Tailor, cries she, at which point the whole company erupts. At which point the whole company erupts, they hold their hips and laugh, ha 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 ha, and waxing in their mirth, they sneeze and swear, and yea, they even shout. A merry hour was never wasted there. Verily I tell thee, that never hour was never ever wasted there.
Now remembrance, once I sat on a promontory and heard a mermaid stop on a dolphin's back, uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath that the stars in their fears shot madly from the sea, and made the grew civil as her song continued.
I remember.
And remember us when I instructed thee to acquire a potion that alters the heart?
I certainly remember.
And once procured, I watched Titania when she is asleep and drop the liquor of it in her eyes. Next thing then, she waking looks upon, be it on lion, bear, or wolf or bull, a meddling monkey or a busy ape, she shall pursue it with the soul of love.
My mistress, Tatiana, with a monster is in love. Near to her close and consecrated bower, an actor, I spy. and an ass's noggin, I fixed on his head. When at this time, so it came to pass, Tatiana waved, and straightway loved an axe.
That falls out better than I could devise from a woman's knowledge. Now I do begin to before meeting her of late behind the wood and seeking sweet favors from this hateful fool, I did upbraid her and fall out with her, and gentle thought, take this transformed scalp off the head of this Athenian swain.
Off with his head. Now, when thou wakest, with thine own fool's eyes, peep.
When my cue comes, call me, and I will answer. My next is most pyramus. Hey ho, Peter Quince, flute the bellows mender, snout the tinker, starling, God's my life, stolen hips and left me asleep. I have had a most rare vision. I have had a dream past the wit of man to say. A dream it was. Man is but an ass to go about to expound his dream. Methought I was. There is no man to go about. Methought I was. Methought I had. But man is a patched fool if he will offer to say what he thought. The eye of man hath not heard. The ear of man hath not seen. Man's hand is not able to taste, his tongue to conceive, nor his heart to report what my dream was. I will get Peter Quince to write a ballad of this dream. It shall be called Bottom's Dream, because it had no bottom. And I will sing it at the latter end of the play, before the Duke. Peradventure, to make it more gracious, I will sing it at her death.
God's Monologues. Where's McCadden? Let him write down that this man is called Seeking in the Park. Thou not, boy.
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Don't you know my place? Don't you know my years? Oh, someone write me down and ask. Remember that I am an ass. So if it's not written down, just don't forget that I am an ass. Or thou art full of piety, as shall be proven with these good witnesses. I am a wise fellow. I am an author. I am a householder. And as a pretty piece of bread, as any in Los Angeles, as I can. And one that knows the law, and a rich fellow, and a fellow that has had losses, and one that has 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. You don't love myself. Bring him away. Oh, that thou hast been written down
If it do come to pass that any man turn ass, leaving his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please, duck dame, duck dame, duck dame, here shall he see. Gross fools is he, and if he will come to me, methinks you all have gone mad.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Ladies, gentlemen, remember, to stave off madness, give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought is act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. And those friends thou hast, and their adoption try, grapple them unto thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatched unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance into a quarrel, but being in it, better, that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy tongue, but give every man thy ear, but few thy tongue. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit, as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy. For the attire oft proclaims the person,
And then in France, of the best rank and station, are the most select and generous chief of life.
Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. And this, above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow as night follows day. Thou canst not then be false to anyone.
Even by the squandering glances of a fool, I met a fool in the forest. A motley fool, a miserable world as I do with my food. I met a fool who laid him down and bathed him in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms, in good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven has sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his cloak, and looking at it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, it's 10 o'clock. The sweet Maxine, quoth he, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9 o'clock. And in 1 hour more, it will be 11. And so, from hour to hour, we write and we write. And then, from hour to hour, we rot and rot, and thereby hang the tail.
When I do count the clock that tells the time, I think not just of endings, but of presence. What is a play, if not a breath held in unison?
A trick of light and tongue, a feather on the breeze, a chimera, a dream, caught mid-flight.
Then let the dream remain. Let it fade like some much sea foam at the shore. Let it fade like so much sea foam at the shore. For I have known exile, but here in these voices I am not alone.
Then let us end not with advice, but with reflection.
All the world's a stage. But in the end, the audience plays its part.
Look well upon yourselves. What mask do you wear? What role do you rehearse in silence? What truth waits behind your curtain?
We chase ghosts, speak borrowed words, and still they speak us back.
For a player, the real Shakespeare.
We
Are
Shakespeare.
You
are Shakespeare. There are no more lines to say. The script is done, and yet it's phony, isn't it?
12 pages they say of this land, only 12, and yet 1,000 lives poured through his pen.
We are all fragments.
Figments.
We're all kings and cajurers.
We are all fools.
Sometimes we are just fools.
But in that noise, truth flickers.
Storm tossed, yet still we speak. Voices, vile, virtuous, still we speak.
In madness, in memory, still we speak.
And if we speak, then he still lives.
So let us write one more sonnet together. Speak
Shakespeare.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended. The leaves of the tree that can never die, while leaving a glimpse of strange light in the eye that scans the surroundings, makes sense of the scene while sensing the scenery and what lies between.
That's not Shakespeare.
Isn't it? When words and time with thoughts combine, now can you separate thoughts from mind? When mind's eye travels fresh as specters move before, fireflies racing shadows with sunrise through the law.
These words, these words, these words.
We shop through our distractions for a purchase of insight, while true mystery, cinematic, dreams from guardian hands of sleight. The planet's course around their source of yore was such a scandal. Now we orbit those we celebrate, like moths to living candles. And the small voice of reason that's growing within will throw back the curtains again and again for the grand design of each soul painted afresh in the colors of wonder and the hues of success. Given choices, we chance upon choosing our fame, whether comic or tragic finds glory or shame. Let's keep open this window through the centuries of time. Perhaps more minds will venture from your day to mine. Alas, we've had a busy day. Our endeavors are quite spent. As you tendered kind attention, our meanders came and went. The moments that we've shared with you are precious, friends. Too graceless with your faces more.